Deep inside the White House, the sitting president, not on the ballot, but desperate to keep the system intact, took another call. The air in the Oval Office was thick, tasting of fear and stale coffee, like cordite after a shot. "Mr. President," the French leader's voice was tight, "you must ensure stability. The markets will not tolerate this experiment." He hung up, and another line lit Beijing. The voice was cold. "We trust you understand the implications of an ungoverned America. It would create unacceptable economic shock." A third call, a Gulf state prince, his voice smooth as oil. "My friend, a delay is perhaps in order. A recount. These things are complex. We can offer quiet money for a legal delay." Some leaders begged, others threatened. "Do you know what you're unleashing?" The president looked at his sleepless advisors. Can we intervene? Freeze the count? An emergency power?" The lawyers shook their heads. "Too soon, sir," one said, his voice gray. "Too naked, too dangerous. It would be a coup. We have to let it play out." The president stared at the television, where the map of his country was being repainted in a color he did not recognize. The ground was gone. Back in the arena, the crowd shivered as the giant map updated again. Georgia flipped teal. The room erupted. Not a roar, but a strange, rolling sound, like a tide hitting seawalls, disbelief turning to exhilaration. Strangers hugged, their bodies shaking. A man in a Union jacket wiped his eyes, unashamed. Lena Morales pressed a hand to her mouth, her shoulders shaking once. She wasn't crying for the win. She was crying for the patient she'd lost last spring, the one the automated algorithm had denied. Vail didn't speak. He kept his eyes on the screens, the way a carpenter might look at a beam to see if it would hold. Around him, the core team, finally visible in the wings. Samira Al-Najar, her face lit by the glow of 3 laptops, her fingers flying over keys as if defusing a bomb, monitoring the network's integrity. Rachel Kim, legal pad in hand, her eyes already wargaming the injunctions she knew were coming by dawn. Diego and Malik, standing side by side, the cynic and the realist, watching the impossible become fact. The world was watching a number climb. Not final, not yet, but enough to make old party strategists sweat through their suits. It wasn't a landslide and it wasn't safe, but it was breaking every map they'd trusted for a lifetime. Counties that had voted one way for generations were turning a new color.